Rajeev Pandey of the BJP is joining me on the show now. I'm speaking with Intekhab Farooqi, leader of the Shiv Sena, and Madhvan Narayanan, senior journalist. Welcome to all of you and thank you so much for speaking with us. Mr. Pandey, your response, was this project snatched from Maharashtra and given to Gujarat? Has the change in government cost the state of Maharashtra this very prestigious project, India's first semiconductor production facility?
Damdarji, in your own opening remarks, in your report, as well as the statement of Aditya Thackeray through Twitter, as well as the statement of Uday Samant, clearly reveals that because there was a new policy, and Anil Agarwalji has stated that there was an agency who was evaluating that which estate is the best for their investment. Now, if you see Subhash Desai's statement, he is saying that it was more than 1 lakh crore, 70,000 jobs. Now, if you see what is being invested in Gujarat is completely different. And Anil Agarwal has categorically stated on your channel also that, it is being replicated in another state also. Say it may be next month or next to next month, they will do this in Maharashtra also. What Shiv Sena is trying to do?
Nobody invests. No, one sec, Mr. Pandey. Just on that last part, no company or no major corporation will keep making 1.5 lakh crore rupees investments in various states. It's just not feasible. This investment, this MOU announced today, will see actual production and a finished product coming after 2 years, sir. That's a nice thing to say, that we will look at other states as well. The fact is today Maharashtra has lost it. I can understand your argument saying that Gujarat gave a better deal.
No, Tamanna ji, you tell me. Finally, it's a private investment. The investor will decide. And Aditya Thackeray himself is saying, we were about to final stage. What was that stage? Finally an investor has to see which other project has brought them. These MVA government, let them say which project they have brought this kind of, at this magnitude. Even in the Tata case also, you see when West Bengal did not give the land or whatever it is, they went and overnight they shifted their base to Gujarat. What I'm trying to say, every government tries and it is a very healthy competition now between Gujarat, Maharashtra and Karnataka. Finally, this job will be to the people of this country. The investment is FDI will be in the country. Now, what Shiv Sena is doing, I'll tell you, Shiv Sena is trying to create this issue for political benefits, but it is not going to help them. These kind of allegations, Uday Samantji has responded that, they could not do things on time. It is the same Shiv Sena.
Your response, Mr. Intekhab Farooqi, your response, you snooze, you lose. Your offer perhaps was not as attractive. Gujarat, issued a new semiconductor policy in July. They're giving them 100 acres of land for free for 99 years. Maybe you didn't match up. Maybe the state of Maharashtra didn't match up.
See, I would like to tell you that Mumbai and Maharashtra is the financial capital of India. We all are aware of it and everyone knows that, And it's not the first time that such a huge project is coming into Mumbai. There has many projects in Mumbai, as we all know, there are so many huge projects in Mumbai. And if this was one which was going to come up, is not a big thing which is going to make a difference. But yes, it was going to make a difference for the newcomers, for the people who are waiting for jobs, who are trying to, achieve their goals, who had dreams to, to come up in life, to make their career. So I just want to say that this would have, made a big change if such a huge project would have come up in Mumbai. And once if it was finalized, then all of a sudden, making it a change. That is where, people are thinking like, then why,
Sir, first of all, Intekhab, please, I hope, Subhash Desai has spoken. This project was supposed to come in Talegaon, not in Mumbai. It's supposed to come in Talegaon.
Yes,
you are saying it doesn't matter. No, you're saying 1 minute. You're saying if it didn't come, if you're saying it didn't come, it's not such a big loss. It is a big loss. It is a big loss. I just pulled up the amount of investment which came in the state of Maharashtra last year was less than what Foxconn is investing in Gujarat. Gujarat got 20,000 crore rupees in 2021. Let me just pull up that data. So, people on the panel know what we're talking about. In 2021, Gujarat got 20,000 crore rupees in the full year. Maharashtra got about 1.1, I would say 1.2 lakh crore rupees. This entire project is 1.54 lakh crore rupees. One project. Mr. Farooqi, why are you saying this is not a big loss to Maharashtra? The fact is, it's a competition among states and another state has got it. This state has lost out.
Of course, it is a big loss for Maharashtra. Of course, I believe in, and everyone knows that it is a huge loss for Maharashtra. And, if this would have come up. But I just want to say that, making it a change and, taking it out from here, that is where people just feel like that why such a
Who
big
has done
change,
that?
I'm
Who
like,
has done that?
yeah. So,
Who has done
so
that? You
if
are
this
saying
would
that,
have come up,
you are saying,
once if it was finalized, then, it should have brought up here in Maharashtra and people would have got better jobs. They would have come up with, better, they have reached their goals, their aims, and it would have been a better sight, coming up in Maharashtra.
No, so whose
But
fault is it? No, it would have all been very good. That's not what we're asking. Whose fault is it? Why is Aditya Thackeray blaming Mr. Shinde's government for it? If he was speaking to them for a year. I'm not understanding that. Mr. Farooqi, what is your response to that?
See, we all heard to Mr. Subhash Desai. He was the minister. He is the ex-minister of Maharashtra, and he clearly said
Yes.
all the talks went on very good, healthy, fruitful meetings, everything. But then all of a sudden, everything got changed. So that is where the question rises. As recently, just now, I heard on your channel itself. And he was the minister when they all went. Mr. Aditya Thackeray was also in the meeting.
Madhvan
And they all
Narayanan,
had
put this
great
into
meeting.
perspective. 1 minute. Madhvan Narayanan, put this into perspective because we know that states compete for projects. But this is a big one. In that conversation with me, Subhash Desai also said that at the final stage of talks, the competition was between Maharashtra and Telangana. Gujarat was not in the picture. Suddenly, Gujarat has swept in. Can we put it down to their semiconductor policy they allowed or they announced in July? And the fact that this is an MOU, only an MOU, is the game still wide open?
I think, Tamanna, you hit the nail on the head. Let me explain to really connect the dots that are not visible to the, MOUs. To start with are vague announcements. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
Let's see the timing of it. The semiconductor policy was announced last month by Gujarat, and we are 6 months or less than 6 months away from state elections. As I see it, this MOU to start with is for the BJP in Gujarat a matter of announcement ahead of the optics ahead of the elections. That's the way I look at it politically, because they can claim credit that they won a big investment. Having said that, let me also, I'm going to take a line that is against the convention of assuming that a state attracting a big investment is a big deal, because 1,50,000 crore sounds very big. 20, 30 years ago, such an investment would have been an incredible success. But today, technology has changed a lot. As it is, semiconductor is a very capital-intensive industry. And it's also a water-intensive industry. So both environmentally and in terms of job creation, it is a questionable one. So I just calculated on the basis of what Mr. Anil Agarwal was saying on your show, that if 70,000 jobs are being created by an investment of 1,50,000 crore, it means actually 2 crore is required for just one job. And that may not be very good in a state where the unemployment levels are much higher. So maybe Gujarat is in a better position to bear the stress of water now that they've got Narmada as a successful river project. So that could be it. But having said that, let me also look at the other details. Subsidies and land are very important part of the the whole game. And now that we have a debate going on in the country about freebies, I'm sure Aam Aadmi Party, which is trying to break into Gujarat, might make a noise saying that what is being given to Mr. Agarwal is just a bunch of freebies for the rich man.
Rajeev Pandey, respond to that. Is this great timing for the BJP government in Gujarat? Few months before the election, you get to say that, look, we've gotten a great investment which will give over 1 lakh jobs. And then what about the question of freebies? You're saying don't give free electricity. The Aam Aadmi Party is offering free electricity in Gujarat. You're saying don't give free electricity. They'll turn around and say that 100-acre land at no cost for 99 years is the biggest freebie there is.
1,000 acres.
Tamanna ji,
Yes.
Tamanna ji, first of all, this is not freebies. To attract investment, since 1991, if you will see the liberalization policy and all other policies, to attract FDI, every government has taken steps. And if Gujarat government thinks that if we give this kind of facilities and if investment is coming, that will improve what is the biggest benefit? One is the job. And first of all, it is not 70,000. What I have read today, it is more than 1 lakh job creation is there. But the biggest part is that the corporate tax and ancillary industries, all other industries, hotel industries, transportation industries, all these things will add up the tax collection of the Gujarat government. So let's not go into that debate. Your second point was that Gujarat government will say that we have brought this. You say in your own report, 27th July, Eknath Shinde ji and Devendra Fadnavis ji became CM and Deputy CM. Before that, 1 month, what was happening because internal fight between Shiv Sena. So, because of these things, then there was a loss of time and opportunity. Thereafter, maybe that policy which came in Gujarat in July has given the company, the Foxconn or Anil Agrawal, to ponder again that which is a better place to invest. And in Maharashtra, in last 2.5 years, the way government was working, we know very well that it had 3 legs.
No, but they got better investment. Maharashtra got better investment in 2021 as compared to Gujarat.
Yes, you're right. But if you see 1 year before, this year is not complete. It is going on.
No, 2020 also Maharashtra did very well. It was second to Gujarat, but it did very well.
Maharashtra is a highly industrialized state, but 1 year before, Gujarat was much ahead. And maybe that is the reason that Gujarat thought, let's change the policy and attract the investment.
No, but Mr. Pandey, you turned the question around. I'm asking, is this got to do with the Gujarat elections?
No, not at all.
Is this a great plank to talk about in the Gujarat elections? The point Madhvan raised.
I don't think so. I'll tell you, in Gujarat, last 24 years, BJP is in power. And this time we will see the maximum seats BJP will win. This has nothing to do with the election. Then what about the Tata investment when that Mamata Banerjee forced Tata to...
No, but you keep comparing with Nano, but Mr. Pandey here, I must clarify to our viewers why it's different. In West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee said, I will not let Nano come. And but then they said, okay, we'll go to Gujarat. Here in Maharashtra, red carpet, dono bichha kar baithe hain.
We don't know.
So it's not the right comparison.
What I'm saying,
you get my point.
No, you are right. I completely understand that their case was different. What I'm trying to say, in a private investment, a person will evaluate, and where they think that it is a better offer, that they will accept. But is there nothing to do with the election?
Why are you seeing politics in it? Look at Rajeev Pandey's point of view. Anil Agarwal is saying we hired a private agency. They saw all the offers from all of the states. They saw where we're getting the best deal, and this is where we're going. Any kind of a new setup will do that, right? You'll go to all of the states and you'll see, let them compete for your business. That's standard practice.
Yeah, but Tamanna, the point is, it is standard practice, and Mr. Pandey was elaborate enough. If there is a semiconductor ecosystem going to come up, if the tax revenues do go up, it is good for Gujarat, and it could be a calculated risk they are taking. But I have also seen Enron project fail in Maharashtra. I've got too much experience to be suddenly excited about anything. Foxconn is already manufacturing in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, and they are very labor-intensive manufacturer there. So the benefits to the states are more visible, politically speaking. So there are always, what in economics we call cost-benefit analysis has to be done. There could be political costs and political benefits, and there could be economic costs and economic benefits. But what is clear to me is that the optics are certainly in favor of Bhupendra Bhai Patel of the BJP rather than Dev Fadnavis of the BJP. And to that extent, Aditya Thackeray can certainly make it a issue of pride.
Raj Thackeray, absolutely. Raj Thackeray has also commented on it today, saying that beyond politics, this is a serious issue.
Yeah, actually, Maratha pride is at stake here because Maharashtra has historically been considered the most industrialized states of India. Gujarat is trying to catch up. It is still not there. In spite of, if you look at the industrial base, not recent years, but you have to go back. Although it is true that both states have done very well industrially, Maharashtra has had pride of place in Pune. Even Nashik has become very industrialized. So all that is there. And politically speaking, because I can keep on discussing economics today, we'll never get anywhere, because it's all about how to weigh the apples and oranges of an investment. But politically speaking, it is the only way out for Mr. Shinde to get out of this mess would be to say, yes, we decided that we should concentrate on Vidarbha and not on Talegaon or something, and say something to wriggle out of the situation. But Maratha pride.
No, he has said now that he'll try and get this project back. Mr. Farooqi, you want to add to this? If Mr. Shinde does manage to get the one sec. Yes, Madhvan.
Tamanna ji, see, we are not against.
Let's just Madhvan finish. Let just Madhvan finish. 1 sec. Yeah, sorry.
I also want to make a political observation here. I think the Shiv Sena has been trying to win back this Hindutva kind of image that it believes it may have been eroded by the split caused by Mr. Shinde. And there, I think Maratha pride has to be resurrected, and this project may be a wonderful opportunity for Uddhav Thackeray to resurrect Maratha pride.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Farooqi, you're trying to ride on this, development to resurrect your party's fortunes, essentially, isn't it?
See, every state must have good projects coming up, and they should help, let the projects come in, and that will help the people to get jobs, better jobs and everything, and also that will help the economy of the country. So no one is have an objection to this, or anyone has an objection that no, it should only be here. Every state of India should grow up and grow higher. But now the only thing was that because the only thing this was finalized, and all of a sudden it got changed. That is where a question rises, and we just wait.
Question? Subhash Desai is saying the project was snatched from Maharashtra and went to Gujarat. That's not a small question. That's a big allegation that your leader has made. Aditya Thackeray has made a big allegation today. Mr. Pandey, what is your counter to the question of Maratha pride and regional pride that Madhvan is making?
That is the politics behind this. And that's why Aditya Thackeray has made this a statement. If they were so near, they should have signed the MOU or whatever it is. They could not finalize. That's why he's writing. He has honestly admitted that it was almost final. It was not final. So there is a
but 1 minute. Didn't the Shinde government boast that this project is coming? Because that's what Aditya Thackeray is saying as well.
Maybe Shinde government would have tried its best. But because by that time, when they came into power on 27 July, by that time everything would have been over. I don't know, because we are not having information. But the question is, the moot question is only one line, that Maratha pride. I don't think these things affects Maharashtra politics, because Maratha is pride for different reasons, not for bringing this kind. Maharashtra is the most industrialized state in the country. So investment will come, and I assure you that under this government, a lot of investment will come.
Sir, if any politician today is undermining the importance of employment as an issue, they are sorely mistaken. Look at the latest unemployment data, which has come for the month of August. It's the highest in 12 months. So anyone who can say, I'm bringing in more jobs to my state, is on the right path. It is an important projection to make. We'll see how it's tom-tommed or whether it's, brought up in the run-up to the Gujarat elections. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on the big story this evening that we're tracking on Beyond the Headlines. But let me